And here's what my high performers say, but doc, I don't feel stressed. Anyone here feel wired? How about tired but wired through the day? How about plain tired? So I'm seeing some nods. So this means that you have some level of adrenal dysfunction, likely some underlying nutrient deficiencies, likely chock full of toxins. So the number one thing that'll age you is stress. So I'm glad you're all here because we have a lot of modalities. We've got the breath work coming up. And here's what my high performers say, but doc, I don't feel stressed. And then I run a cortisol panel on them and it looks like this. You can see the black line, it's off the charts, but they don't feel stressed. It should be high in the morning and then it should go down throughout the rest of the day. If it's high all the time, you're wired. Over time, it'll be low in the morning. And at the end of the day, when you're recovering, the body says, oh, thank God she's taking a break. And then it kicks out some cortisol and then it may stop you from falling asleep. It may wake you up at 3 in the morning. And then over time, it just flatlines. And those are the plain old tired. So that's just one of the causes. So we run things. Meet Norman. So he was a gentleman who came to me. He had 18 months of debilitating fatigue on the couch, disabled from work. I took him through the 3D protocol. And after 3 months, he had 100% energy and he was launching his consulting business. Back then, he was earlier on in my career. I didn't teach him how to recover and maintain. It was that maintenance part. So now we teach everyone in the clinic a form of biofeedback so that they know when they meditate or they do breath work, they're out of fight or flight. And he said, when I taught him this, because I've now recovered him twice, he said that was the missing piece. So now that's what we do. And it's not just him, it's time and time again, we've recovered people. So what do I use to help people regulate stress? So you've got some mindfulness here. So go do the breath work afterwards. So you want to do some sort of mindfulness, but even more than that, you want to measure to make sure you're out of fight or flight. So this graph here, that wavy line, that's someone who's anxious, frustrated, and they're not out of fight or flight. The bottom graph, this is measuring something called heart rate variability. And that's what we measured in babies. So we want to see their heartbeat bouncing up and down. And when they start doing this, that means get that baby out before they flatline. It's the same with longevity. If you're chronically here, you're not going to live very well and you're going to start feeling it. And don't let that happen. I can't tell you how many times I've treated someone who says I've meditated for 20 years and I get that cortisol response. Well, it's not effective. So let's teach you a way where you can measure and effectively see that you're out of fight or flight. If you have no modality whatsoever, box breathe, because it's going to trigger the vagus nerve and it's going to bring your heart rate down. So if you have no other modality, you're driving, someone cuts you off, you feel like, oh my gosh, I could have lost my life. And you breathe for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. So that's box breathing. And then for those of you that are stressed, there's adaptogenic herbs. And believe it or not, I've learned to run nutrigenetics or genetics and how to bypass defective genes with vitamins and minerals. And that's why Jenny McCarthy sought me out, because I was getting some great results and I made some waves. I'm not the only one who's done this, but some of my high performers, they have this genetic predisposition to breaking down cortisol. So they're going to be in fight or flight longer. And for those high level executives, those high performing people, I put them on adaptogenic herbs to make sure they're out, or at least to recover them. And then they know we get them recovered and we give them provisions on how do we keep you there. So this is another high performing executive. She was 69 and still working. And she always said, I feel great, right? She crashed like the first guy, not once, but twice. And here's what, after recover, she said, I didn't realize the impact of stress. And she had always told me, I don't feel stressed. So that's like your tip off that, hey, get tested. So here's some of the concepts. You want to test. Is your cortisol off the charts, or is it dysfunctional? If you're not feeling well, or if you are, because we don't know, especially those of you who are go, 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 you want to find a way to regulate your nervous system to de-stress. And if you need, then we reach for some adaptogenic herbs. Sounds simple, right? I named the clinic Simply Health Institute because it's got to be health made simple or people won't do it.